In this review, I'm going to review Okamiden, and this is sort of an action-adventure game like Legend of Zelda, as I mentioned in my first impression of the game. And the game was published by Capcom for the Nintendo DS, and it's actually a sequel to Okami, which can be played on the PS2 and the Wii. The game is very cute, like I mentioned before, and relaxing to play as the battles are not difficult at all. It begins with a summary of the events that led to Okamiden, and it just retells the story of Okami for those who haven't played it like me. And the story is basically their world, Nippon, has been shrouded in darkness again and again. It happens to them even though they've beaten the evil spirits. It just happens to come back to them, so they're very unlucky. And it's up to you, and the name of the main character is Chibi Terasu. It's up to you to restore the peace and beauty in their land. You, of course, need a sidekick, you need a partner. And throughout the game, you get to meet different people, different quirky characters, and each of them have different powers and abilities, which you'll discover as you play, and they also have different personalities, which is quite amusing. The main item you use in this game is your brush, which is your stylus. And you can use it during battle when you do errands for people, and this is done by simply pressing the left or right button. You either hold it and then you draw something on the screen and let go, and then you're done. It usually gives you about 30 seconds, which I think is more than enough time. Or you can just press it, draw, and then press it again, and then you're done. As you progress the game, as I said, you do errands for other people, and it's usually to get items that are stolen from them by evil spirits. And most of the time, you have to find the spirits by yourself, and it's randomized, so you don't just fight the first monster you see and you'll get it. So sometimes it's random, and sometimes you get it from treasure chests on the map. And there are a few instances where the evil spirits are going to be marked on the map for you. Like the person who's actually telling you to get these things says that, oh, they know where this evil spirit is. And then they'll mark it on the map for you. And they look kind of reddish. And there's an X on the map, because usually the evil spirits look purple. And after finishing the quest, you'll actually get praised by the person you return the items to. And at the bottom of the left-hand corner, you see a gauge called the praise orb gauge, and this fills up every time you do a good deed for somebody. And it also fills up when you make flowers bloom on trees, basically make evil spirits disappear from the land and make nature, the environment, beautiful again. So your goal is to fill up the gauge to the max, and this allows you to get an extra solar energy unit, which you use for health, which is your health, or you can get an extra ink pot, which is what you use for your brush. Also, on the bottom screen in the top left-hand corner, you can see white boxes where you can put shortcuts of items you use more often, such as Holy Bones, which is used to replenish your health gauge. Another thing I want to mention are the celestial brush techniques, which you learn from the children of the celestial brush gods. And these are pretty cool because the things that you do, like the things that you draw on the screen to fight monsters and to make nature beautiful again and stuff like that, that's what it's called. They're brush techniques. And in the beginning, you only learn how to do sunrise, which is to draw a circle in the sky. And a lot of these have different names. Like the first one I said was sunrise, and then there's one called rejuvenation, where it when you draw a circle on a tree that doesn't have any flowers on it, it makes it bloom. Or if there's an evil area on the ground, like the thing that appears kind of reddish purplish, you draw a circle on it and it makes it disappear. And you can definitely use this in battle. There's one called Power Slash, where you get to slash monsters with it, and it's more effective than walking up to them, because by doing the Power Slash, you're at a distance that is safe for you. So yeah, these are really helpful, and as you go through the game, you get to learn many different ones that you get to use during errands. There are 3 ways to replenish your solar energy units and ink pots, and one is to break pots scattered throughout the town. Another way is to cut down trees and other items in your environment, like rocks and stuff like that, with your brush by just swiping at the item with your stylus. And also the third way is to get it in battle. Sometimes the monsters give you ink, they give you rice balls, which you use for health. And it really depends on what you're fighting, because some of them don't give you anything, and other times you get a lot of ink. The battles in this game are different, and you can see your enemy before you're fighting them, and you can choose to walk away. Except the boss battles, of course. There are what I call in-game battles, where you can swipe at the enemy as you see it in front of you and kill it. But there are also longer battles, where you see a spirit kind of floating there, and when you approach it, it kind of shrouds you in darkness, or it kind of covers you in this purplish smoke, whatever color the spirit is in, and it transfers you to the battle screen. It transfers you to a different sort of room, like it's like you're in an arena. And during the battles, like the longer battles and the boss battles, this is where it is really important for you to use your brush. So if you don't know how to use it, or you don't use it at all, you're less likely to win. You probably won't win the battle. There's some battles where it's kind of tricky and you have to figure it out. You have to play a couple more times for you to find out how to beat this monster, but it's really not that hard. So you figure it out eventually. And you also have to keep a close watch on your ink gauge, because this runs out fairly quickly, faster than your health gauge. But for your health gauge, it kind of blinks, like it kind of has, not blinks, it has like a tone that you can hear that it's pretty low and that you have to replenish your health gauge. But then for the ink, it doesn't have a warning at all. So you have to watch that closely. Now for the save points, everybody always wants to know where the save points are, because you don't want to play a really long time and then suddenly, I don't know, you fell or you got killed by one of the monsters, and then now you have to start over. But the save points are there. This game is pretty good in putting save points around the area. They are scattered around the towns, and each location has at least one. And usually they are in a place where there could be a boss battle in the next room before you go in, so you can keep that in mind, and that's usually what it happens in most games. And these save points are called origin mirrors, and in the beginning you're only going to be able to save with these, But in the future, as you progress through the game, you're going to be able to warp to other mirrors you've been to. You can only warp with mirrors that are not cursed. Like the ones that are not cursed has an X on them, and the ones that are cursed don't have anything on the mirror. So, with the cursed mirrors, you can't warp with them either. The story isn't that complicated. It's really simple actually, but I really think the execution is excellent. I love the fact that you can use your brush to solve people's problems. If there's anything that's broken, like a pot that is broken, there's a hole through it, all you have to do is draw the opening on the pot and then you repaired it. Or if there's a broken bridge, all you have to do is draw part of the bridge that's supposed to be there and then it's fixed. So I think that's amazing. And you can also draw the sun in the sky if it's really dark, and create wind with your brush. So the concept is really cool, and I can never get tired of playing this game. It's very light at times and dramatic also. Overall, this game is fantastic, and it's definitely a family game and one that everybody should pick up for their collection. I really love it, and this is it for this review. Stay tuned for the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye.